What's up everybody, Dan here. We're doing another Minecraft Utopia. So this time around we actually got a lot of lumber from our previous video, and so now we're going to use it towards building a lot more of these wooden planks and working on the floor for our bakery, which we have not started yet. So what we're going to be doing is just a lot of wood-based things today. I don't know if you saw, we actually made a full video about these little wooden things, but I'm going to explain it a little bit right now. So what these things are for, they serve two purposes. One, the one problem that we had originally, we originally had this cobblestone street and it looked really boring. We wanted to give it a little extra, something to look at when you're walking around. So if you look right over here, we have these wooden planks along the road, and you're probably like, what the heck are those wooden planks for? Well, below it is a water streams, just so you have extra water for, well, actually, now that I think of it, for three purposes we have this. For one, if there is a fire, for whatever reason these buildings are on fire, there's no way to have really like a fire hydrant in this game. So what we did was we put these water planks, grab a bucket, because we're at the right height. We could grab onto things or just do stupid things like that, like I just did. So now I gotta go get it. Or I'm just gonna, all right, I'll go get it. But basically we could do things like that. We could go down there and get the item that we need. And the second purpose is, of course, like I said, it gives it a nice look to it. It fills in the street a little bit more. But the last and final reason is every few blocks we have, I don't know if we have any on this side. This side we're gonna have some. Right over here we have a glowstone, we have another glowstone, another one, and another one. Basically, I'm not sure what the distance is between each glowstone in order, or any light source in order for any mobs to spawn. But over here we have a lot of glowstone. We have a lot of glowstone right here on the ground. We have glowstone up in the lampposts, and of course we have a torch here and a torch at this straight over here. This whole area right here, we have realized not a single mob has ever spawned over here because there's so much light. Now it doesn't look as bright with the water on top of it, or like say over here. However, it does serve its purpose. It keeps the mobsters from spawning in the middle of the street. So when you have a big street, a big open space like this, it pays to have these glowstones in here because they don't spawn near light. So it serves us a really good purpose, and we're actually playing on normal difficulty. We haven't played on any difficulties. Most have been peaceful the last 20 videos because we don't want the mobsters to be bothering us. So this video, we're gonna be playing on normal. So when the sun sets, you guys will see that all the mobsters spawn probably somewhere in this open area where there's no light at all, but they're not going to be spawning over here, which is great. So for anyone building in town, if you're building an area with a lot of open spaces like this, a lot of streets, you're going to be running into that problem where there's going to be mobsters spawning constantly. So one obvious way to solve that problem is to play, of course, on peaceful. That's what we've been doing for the longest time, and we got a lot done. We've gotten a lot of buildings built. We've gotten a lot of things worked on, because obviously we're not paying attention and focusing on fighting these creatures everywhere we go. But now that we're at a good spot, a good stage in this area where it's going to be pretty safe, we're not going to need to build a massive wall to separate us from the mobsters. We're going to be safe in this town itself. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on this a little bit more. Now the problem is I don't have much glowstone. Actually, I don't have any. So we're going to have to go to the nether at some point, get a lot of glowstone, and then come back. That would be for another day. We don't need to focus on that right now. But for now, we're going to be focusing on getting this finished, or at least this stream finished, just so I could show you how the process works, and how I prefer to make them and how I make them look. So, like I said, we're going to have glowstone every few blocks apart from each other. I'm not sure what the space size needs to be in between in order for mobsters to spawn. I've done some research, and I think it's like 5 blocks apart. So we've been putting, I think it's like 6 or something like that, because the range of light is like 3 or 4 blocks already. So with that being said, we've been putting glowstone about maybe 5 or 6 blocks apart from each other. So if you guys could keep that with your torches, your glowstone, lava, whatever you have, in order to to keep your mobsters from spawning in certain areas, whatever your item you're using, that's probably the best go-to right there, is 5 or 6 blocks for each. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on this. So like I said, last time we really focused on getting a lot more material because we've been running out of lumber. We have like no lumber whatsoever because we've been using it to build these buildings. And that's the problem that I seem to be having is I will get a lot of one type of item, use it like crazy for a full week and build like 10 buildings. And then it's like, great, I'm out of material again. But in this instance, we have plenty of regular stone. We have plenty of lumber in order to get this finished. So we are going to be starting something and finishing something for the very first time in one video, because basically we have never had the chance to start a project and finish a project all at once. So you know what? I know there's a wall thing right there, but let me just Oh, I hate that. See, the worst thing is like that happens and it's like, great, now I have to have stone. I can't use, or cobblestone. I can't use regular stone anymore. The reason why I'm using stone as opposed to cobblestone down below is because I like the way it looks. I hate the way, if I were to make, I started out making the entire street out of just regular stone and it looked really bland and boring. So cobblestone gave it a nice extra look. But the reason why I'm using stone is because in real life, when you look at something that's been polished by water for so long, you know, it looks very smooth. It looks very, you know, refined. Like if you look at a lake or something like that, or like, heck, the Grand Canyon, for example, used to be just large rivers. And if you look at the bottom layers of the Grand Canyon, it's, a lot of it's very smooth towards the bottom because that's where the rivers were. The riverways, you know, polished a lot of rock and stone and roughed out, you know, smoothed out the rough edges. And so that's why I'm using a smoother looking stone as opposed to cobblestone. Now the cobblestone, we could argue that horses have ran over it many, many times and that's why it looks chiseled and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just all about, you know, the little things. You know, when you're designing a town or a city, or you want to make it look artistically pleasing, you know, you have to factor in a lot of little things. So it's like each individual little like thing, like little choices you make, even something as simple as like choosing between cobblestone and stone, you know, it's not that it needs a story, it needs a reason, you know? And for me, at least, you know, I like to have a reason for almost everything I do because then it's that much more satisfying when it's finished because then I could brag about it more. I have, you know, a reason to like the thing I've built, you know? It gives it a little more, I don't know, makes it look cooler. So let's get my buckets out. Oop. So here's what I was going to talk to you about. Like I said, with the whole idea of, you know, having water at your disposal everywhere you go. See how easy that was? And I actually did think about using iron plates like that at one point. There was a problem with that though, because like you saw right there, I obviously like the idea of being able to grab water as easily accessible as it was, as opposed to having to press down a button or break it. You know, this makes it a lot easier. The major downfall with using wooden ones such as those is anyone visiting your town, like Scott, can go around, you know, opening them up and just, you know, causing chaos because there's no chaos and order in that. So I like the way it looks. You know, if you don't like it, you know, comment below saying, you know, how much you don't like it and hate this video as much as you want. But I like it, and like I said, it serves its purpose. It keeps the mobsters from spawning in this area, so, you know, what have you. Everyone has their own method. Everyone's got their own system of making it work. So let's get this finished. The sun is setting now. I could tell it's getting darker, so whoa! So right after this, you know, we should probably hightail it to a safer place. Because all the mobsters are going to be spawning right next to us. In that area, in the open fields. But my goodness, again, surprised I haven't needed to eat anything yet. I mean, I did at the beginning of this video, but it's towards the end already. I can't believe we've already gone this far. Man, this is a really long one. Oh geez, we're not even, oh my gosh. Okay, let's make this a little quicker. Whoop, okay. They didn't really make it any faster. It's getting so dark. My screen is so dark on here. Like, I have 2 screens going right now. The one on the far left is a much, much brighter screen. But the way I'm looking, because of the way the camera is, I have to look at this screen on the right-hand side. Because I normally don't play like this. I normally play like this. Yeah, so, there's that. And so I finally got the video going up now. Sorry about that, everyone. What was I just talking about? Yeah, because my camera just suddenly shut off, so I'm like, great. I didn't record any of this, did I? So yeah, so there's that. Anyway, so we're gonna have to hightail it out of here soon, or, you know, just make sure that we're at a good position so that we're not near any, like, skeletons and all that, because I absolutely hate skeletons with the arrows, because I can never escape their cruelty. Yeah, you know, we'll just ignore that. Oh, great. It's very, very finicky, I've realized. We are playing on normal. I am playing on normal. I haven't lost any, you know, food. There's also, I don't see any mobsters anywhere. So see how bright it is right over here? There's so much light right here that nothing is ever going to spawn. There's a skeleton over there. Okay, so it is working. I don't have any glowstone on that side of the street. And as you can see, there's a skeleton. It's getting closer to me. But as you can see over there, there's no light. But right over here, there is a ton of glowstone right over here, the torches and everything. And that's why it's working so well. The other thing I want to mention is that this was all built... Oh, look, there's a creeper. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go inside my house and just get some sleep. The one thing I like to point out is, obviously, I don't know if y'all know, but I built all of this above a swamp. So there's going to be a lot of slimes jumping around. And that's the funny thing is, because slimes don't really... They can still spawn even without... Okay. Oh, okay. Now you're gonna hurt me. Okay. I see how it is. I see how it is. Yeah, that's right. Because it's built above a swampland, you know, there's gonna be a lot of there's going to be a lot of slime, and as you can see, slime don't disappear during the day. So it's kind of a nice little thing, you know. You see like all these creatures jumping around. I mean, slimes don't really do much to harm you. They're just kind of cool looking. So anyway, that's the video right there. I know it's been a lot. We experienced a lot of technical difficulties and a lot of things have happened. So I'll see you guys next time.